In this video today, I'm going to break down in detail A to Z how to create a service-based business that requires minimal upfront cost, no previous testimonials or experience, and still has the ability to generate $20,000 a month or even scale way further than that if that's what you want to do. I'm even going to share with you a strategy to test this business idea quickly to see if it works for you before you spend your precious time building it out further. What I'm about to take you through has been proven time and time again, has been the backbone of all of the businesses that I've launched over the last decade and can be replicated starting today. But first, if you're new here, my name's John, husband, father, and founder of AdClients.com. And over the last 10 years, I've generated over $30 million online without having to hustle 24/7, sacrifice my personal life, or have to stop doing the things that I love. And now here on this channel, I teach other people to do the same. So let's get into it. There are 5 parts to this video, each more vital than the previous. So make sure you pay attention and ideally go grab a notepad and a pen and be ready to take notes. Firstly, I want to walk you through what this business model is and share with you examples so you can start figuring out your own unique angle to use. Secondly, I want to go through why this model is so successful compared to so many other business models that you're likely seeing online. And I want to be real with you, the pros and the cons, and actually give you some resources to help you with this. Then I'm going to break down the strategy to launch and test this business rapidly without having the business fully ready so that you can assure yourself that your customers are out there and are willing to pay you. Next, we'll go through exactly what you need to set up the business, and thankfully it's super simple and requires minimal setup costs. And lastly, I want to share with you the step-by-step marketing and sales process that you can use to automate the entire business and make it possible for you to scale to $20,000 a month and beyond. So there's a lot to cover, so let's not waste any more time. So let's start here. What is this business model and why is it so lucrative? Well, every single one of us is walking around with knowledge inside of our head, knowledge that other people don't know and you do. And it's a problem that someone else has that you already have the solution to. The issue is we just haven't realized yet that there is money to be made by sharing what we know with somebody else. And this person can share what they know with another person. And if you can find the right prospect who is in desperate need of a solution to something you've already figured out, they will happily pay you money to learn that from you. And typically when we think about this, we assume the only way someone's going to be willing to pay us money for what we know is if we have a qualification in it, if we have paperwork, if we have been certified. That is no longer the case. The knowledge industry is on a rise. Think about the amount of times that you have invested money to learn something from someone else that didn't have a piece of paper to show that they were qualified. They just had the result that you wanted. Imagine you were looking to get in shape and there were 2 options for people that could help you. First person has all of the personal training qualifications and all the paperwork to show you that, but they're looking a little bit chubby and they're not really demonstrating what it is that they seem to know about. And you've got another option, someone who's not qualified, never done any training, but they've obsessively learnt about nutrition and training to the point where they look like a Greek god. Well, which one are you going to choose to give your money to learn from? It's not going to be the person with a piece of paper but not demonstrating the results. It's going to be the person without the piece of paper that does demonstrate the results. And oftentimes the most lucrative knowledge-based businesses, at least the ones that I've seen, is when you've gone through some kind of life experience and you now want to pass that knowledge back to someone else to help them. Take my client Michelle, for example. She struggled for a long time with her alcohol addiction and it was ruining her life. It was threatening her career and threatening her family life. And so she managed to, through a lot of trial and error and trying different strategies, she got it under control. And in fact, she got to a place where she started to thrive in life again and thought, maybe what I have learned is worth something. And so she put herself out online, she packaged up her knowledge, she offered it to other ladies that were in a similar position. And lo and behold, they started to flock to her and she started to make thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars. In fact, her best month was $38,000 helping other women with knowledge that she has gained through her own life experience. Or Brendan, who after a 30-year career in the police and approaching retirement, thought, I would love to help the younger generation be able to get into the police force. And he knows how challenging the tests are. And he also knows how to navigate those tests to pass and get in. So he launched his knowledge-based coaching business to teach young up-and-comers how to pass the police exam and get in. He just crossed £500,000 in total revenue for that business in the last couple of years. Or Jagir, who wanted to learn how he can make a bit of extra money on the side and got obsessed with learning about trading, or at least getting to a point where he's making more positive returns than bad ones, and so he's in profit. Thought maybe other people would like to know what I know and maybe they'll pay me for it. And so he launched a training program teaching people what he's doing with trading, and in the first 2 months made $27,000. This is real, it's working, and I'm pretty sure it could work for you too. I'm confident that every single one of you watching this has something up here that you could offer. You don't need to be 5 steps ahead, 10 steps ahead. You don't need to be a world-renowned expert. You just need to be 1 step ahead of someone else. You are now an expert in their eyes, and you can pass that knowledge back. So what I want you to do is pause the video and have a think. What experiences have you gone through? What problems did you have that you now have a solution to? What have you learnt over your career that you think you could pass back to the up-and-comers? Have a think, make some notes, and pick the one that you feel is going to be most lucrative for you. So moving on, in this next section, I want to share with you the 6 reasons why most other business models are a struggle, are too challenging, and are not really going to work for you, and the reason why this knowledge business, this coaching business, this service-based business is so much better. The first one is time. Most other businesses, particularly traditional style businesses where you're going to get a physical location, you're going to go to the bank for a big loan, you're going to kit it out, you're going to wait for customers, you're going to stock the shop, and fingers crossed it works after 6 months, 12 months, 18 months of setting up. And that's not just physical businesses. There are other online businesses that the setup process is just too long. We need to move fast. We need to learn quickly. And the advantage of a business like the one I'm talking to you about is that you can get set up in a matter of days, you can get set up very cost effectively, and you save the most valuable asset that you have, which is your time. The second thing is skill level. Okay, with so many other businesses, you need to acquire a vast array of skills before you can even enter the marketplace and have a go at that business model. Whereas what we're doing here is just taking the knowledge that is already in your head, and we're applying a very simple set of principles to put that idea out into the marketplace and see if people want it. And I'm going to tell you more about how to do that very quickly and very simply and test your idea later on in the video. Now, the third one is kind of a 2-in-1. It's margins and profit. There are 2 other very popular type of businesses that are going to shrink your margins and shrink your profits. That is selling low-ticket physical products that have shipping costs, handling costs, production costs. So when it's all said and done, your profit is very, very small. The other alternative is doing physical in-person events, for example. And again, there's massive cost to throw an event and invite people to a hotel room or a conference center or something similar. Whereas with an online knowledge-based business, you are sharing your knowledge. There's no production cost, there's no shipping cost, there's no handling cost. So your profit and your margins are much higher. Now, reason number 4 that other businesses are so challenging is team. You need loads and loads of people in your business and in your organization to help your business run. If you want to grow, if you want to scale, if you want to do more of the same, you have to put another seat in your business. Gets expensive, payroll gets costly. Whereas with this business, I was able to make my first $1 million, literally just me by myself with no one else. And it was only when I wanted to scale beyond $1 million, I started to slowly but surely build a team. I didn't need a big team in the beginning, it was just me, and it can just be you. And number 5, with so many other businesses, you are stuck in your local area, and you just have to hope and pray that your client is in your area. If they're not, you're out of business. Whereas with this type of business, a knowledge-based business, you can go international and you can find customers from all over the world. And the 6th and final reason is most other business models are complicated. There's so many moving parts and they are messy. And as I've been teaching my clients for a long time, you can't scale mess. We need a simple business that's easy to understand. Now, just to further prove to you that this business model is better than almost any other you'll come across, I've got a free resource for you called the Business Validation Checklist, and it's got a box for all of the different things that a successful, profitable, and effective business model should have. So download that and see how many you can tick off with another business model you've been thinking of. With this one in particular, we can tick off all of those boxes, and it is the best model I've ever found. So now, as I promised you earlier, how can you test what you have in your head and see if it's valuable and see if people will pay for it before you go through all of the trouble of creating loads and loads and loads of assets for this business before it's unproven? Well, what we do is we create something called a pop-up offer. And the idea with a pop-up offer is that you can take what's in your head and you could offer it to the marketplace in a matter of 24 to 48 hours. So the idea here is, rather than spending weeks or even months creating all of these training videos and trying to record yourself in a way that you don't feel too uncomfortable, and then building a membership area where you can house those videos and trying to think through every possible scenario of things that your potential customers might want and then pre-building it, this can take forever. Some people, it takes months to just get a darn logo created. So now let's imagine this scenario. Imagine I arrive on your front doorstep today and I ring your doorbell, you open the door, and I whip open a briefcase that has $1,000, $2,000 inside, and I say, I've got a problem that I know you could solve because you've been through it and you've got the solution. Can I please give you $2,000 for you to share with me what you know? Would you turn me away, or would you find a way to deliver that information to me? Well, you'd probably, if $2,000 was on the line, you'd probably find a way to help me, wouldn't you? Well, the way we would do that is we would offer our time. If I'm on your doorstep and I've got $2,000 in cash, you could say to me, come back tomorrow morning, I'm going to help you. You're not going to have time to create training videos and a membership area and a logo and a name for your product. You're just going to be able to give me your time. That's where we start. Now, don't get it twisted. Time is your most valuable asset. So very soon we want to move away from selling our time and we want to leverage other activities. But in the beginning, we start with that. So just so you can picture what I'm saying here, this is where you are right now. You're at the start of this journey. And this is where you want to finish. And where you'd want to finish is having a business that is attracting customers and clients from all over the world. You're having an incredible impact, you're making boatloads of money, and you have an incredible product that you have created and poured your blood, sweat, and tears into for months or even years. Well, many of you, what you might fall victim to is you wait month 1, month 2, month 3, maybe this is 12 months, maybe this is 24 months, and what you're waiting for is that moment where you have the finished product. And when you have the finished product, that is when you will take it to market and hopefully start to make some money. The issue is you are delaying your opportunity to make some money on the hope that eventually you'll build the confidence enough and you'll build the products that the market wants, and you'll eventually put it out there and it'll be amazing and people will start to buy it. This moment for most of you will never ever come. And that's why your business will just remain an idea and it will remain a dream because you never actually launch it. What you should do is you launch right here. You have a tiny little bit of prep, which is creating a pop-up offer. You say, how can I just deliver my time to get the result across to my prospects? And then I can start to make some sales. I pick up another client here, I've made some more money. I pick up another client here, I've made some more money. I pick up another client here, I've made some more money. Now, what is happening all the way along? With every client, you have an opportunity to hear from a real person on a one-to-one call where you're delivering the result through your time. Maybe that's on Zoom. Maybe if they're local to you, you offer to meet up with them in person, and you're hearing from real people. So now you're doing the best job you can. You're making some money in the process, and you're able to refine the process for the next person and refine it again and make it better and refine it again and make it better. By the time you get to this point where your program is looking pretty fantastic, you're making great money and it gets a big tick because it's an awesome program, you've actually made all this money all the way along as well. And you might say, well, John, if I'm so unprepared that I'm just selling my time and I'm just hoping I can deliver to them what they're wanting and I'm not really giving it a great amount of thought, I'm just trying my best. What if these people aren't happy? What if they request a refund? Well, that's the worst that can happen. The worst that can happen is you say, well, thank you, James, for giving me a try. I really appreciate it. I'm sorry that you're unhappy. Let me refund your payments. I hope we can part ways as friends. You now have an ex-client who's actually happy with how you handled that situation. You've given all their money back, and you've only returned money that you otherwise never would have had if you were constantly just trying to refine it till it's perfect. So what does this little bit of prep actually look like? I think you spend 24 to 48 hours and have a think about this. I want you to have 3 things that you include in your offer. Number 1 is one-to-one calls. Now you could offer these over Zoom. I want you to put a time limit on it. I want you to have this program, let's say 90 days. You could call it a 90-day accelerator. And so for 90 days, they're going to get one-to-one calls with you. As soon as they join, week 1, you're going to jump on Zoom, you're going to teach them some cool stuff, and you're going to set them some homework. And you're going to check in with them again at week 2, and you're going to see how much of the homework they did, you're going to review the homework, and you're going to give them the next task. And you should be designing this 90-day process with the hopes that by the end of 90 days, they have been able to achieve the result that they're here for. That's the calls. The second thing is access. You're going to find a way to give them ongoing access to you. That might be connecting with you on WhatsApp. That might be connecting with you on Facebook Messenger. I would refrain from doing email because that doesn't feel valuable. I would find a way where they feel like they're personally connecting with you and they get access to you between these calls. So you have your one-to-one call. Any questions midweek, they can message you on that particular platform and they can get responses in return. And thirdly, resources. Okay? You're going to create, as you go, a bunch of resources that your clients are asking for. You're on a one-to-one call, let's say you're offering fitness training, and the person says, hey, do you have a nutritional guide that I can follow? And you say, you know what, great question, I don't, but I'm going to create one for you. Give me 48 hours and I'll send that to you. Now, this client is happy because you've created a resource for them, but it's also a resource that you can now offer to the other clients that continue to join as your business starts to grow. Now, this model here is more than enough and sufficient enough to launch with, and then you refine it, you get better. You might have to refund a couple of people along the way, but you made some money, this business is proving itself, and you're on the path to scale. So the next thing we need to talk about is the tech that's going to allow you to launch this business. Now, we're in a really amazing time right now where there are incredible platforms online that will allow you to launch a business like this very inexpensively. The one that we use and we actually built and created from the ground up is a platform called Funneler, and it's going to allow you to do all of the key things that you would need to put this business out there. First, you're going to need a place to house some of this stuff as it's growing and as it's expanding. Maybe you want to have a simple membership area where you have the links to these calls and maybe adding your resources as you go. And as you start to build out your pop-up offer, you're going to want to record training videos that's going to go over the stuff that is a repeat question for your clients, so that you can answer that question in a video so it never needs to come up again on a one-to-one call. Well, this means your program is going to start to build once it's been proven. We want to have a membership area where we can host all of that content. Funneler can do that. We want to build sales funnels so that we can attract people online that might be interested in our knowledge and what we've got, and that we can tell them about what we have and give them a chance to maybe speak to us about doing some form of coaching or training. So we need a sales funnel. We need to be able to follow up with email marketing, and Funneler handles your email as well. And it's incredible. Their starter plan is less than $100 a month. There's only really a couple more things that you would need. Number one, very inexpensive, is a Zoom account so that you can do those conversations with these potential clients and see if they're interested in becoming a client with you, and then actually deliver on this one-to-one coaching. And we can do that on Zoom. And thirdly and finally, you need to have a calendar set up so that prospects can actually book on with you automatically to have a chat with you and see if it's the right thing for them to become a client with you. So all up, all in, we're talking less than $150 a month. You can launch this business. If you click the link in the description box, there's a link to a free trial to the Funneler software. So you can give it a test drive completely risk-free and have a look around and play with it and start to build some funnels and start to launch your business. And you will see that you have everything inside that platform to launch this business. So once you have the tech that you need with Funneler to be able to do all of this stuff, we need to have a marketing and sales strategy. And I want to share that with you right now. In just a moment, we're going to talk about the traffic. How do we get eyeballs into your world? But we'll come back to that in just a moment. Where we're going to send traffic once we have it is very important, because the outcome over here is that we want to offer people the opportunity to jump on the phone with you, to have a friendly conversation and see if they're a good fit to become a client, and whether you can convince them enough that what you have is of value for them to join and become a paying client. Now, what happens in the middle here is critical, because if you just send traffic from social media directly to book a call with you, you are going to find you'll be speaking to lots of time wasters. You'll be speaking to people that aren't right. You'll be speaking to people that don't value you and, quite frankly, don't need what it is that you have. And you'll be wasting your time on the phone with people that had no business being there. We need to fill this gap with something that's going to do all of the heavy lifting for you. The vehicle that I have tested and I have found a process that works so well is using this thing called a webinar. Now, I'm sure you're familiar with webinars. You've probably attended a bunch of those over your time, maybe looking into this stuff. You're invited to a presentation, you register, you wait for the room to open, you jump on the line, you see that presentation, and at the end, there might be an offer. Well, if this is done right, and you have a fantastic presentation that says and does all the right things to turn someone from cold to sold, then all we have to do with that presentation is wrap it around a series of funnel pages that can be built on Funneler that's going to allow someone to register for the webinar. They can wait here for the webinar to start. They come out on the presentation. The really cool thing about webinars is that people that are not enjoying your webinar presentation, they leave. And they're leaving all the time, and it's only people that get to the very end of the webinar that have indicated that they like what it is that you're talking about. They get the opportunity to move to the next step, which is to book a call with you. So you take them to another funnel page where they can book a call with you, and now we wait for that call to happen. But we've got people past this line here. Everyone that's a time waster, not right for our business, and doesn't have any money and wouldn't see any value in joining your program, they're gone. It's only the best prospects that have come this way. What you need to focus on is the webinar presentation itself. Building a funnel is easy. That's a few clicks. Having a world-class webinar that's going to do all of that heavy lifting for you, that's where you need some expert training. And I've got an incredible framework for you that shows you exactly what you should say and do on a webinar to turn someone from cold to sold. I'll leave a link to that in the description box, or maybe there's a QR code popping up. Go ahead and get access to that. It's an incredible resource. I've been giving this to my top tier clients that pay me tens of thousands to learn this stuff, and I want to share that resource with you. I think you'll really, really enjoy it. Now, one of the last missing pieces of the puzzle is traffic. All of this is for nothing if we can't attract some eyeballs, but not just any eyeballs, people that are actually interested in what we've got. If we go right back to the beginning of this video, where did it all start? It was you having knowledge in your head, perhaps a life experience or a problem that you used to have and now you have a solution to it and you want to pass that knowledge back. Well, we now need to find other people that are in that position that need what it is that you've got. So how do we get them? Well, there's two ways of driving traffic and getting eyeballs on our new business. The first way is that we can do what we call organic marketing, where we're spending our time. Okay, this is where we're going on YouTube, just as I am right now. You're going on Instagram, you're going on TikTok, you're going on LinkedIn. You're not spending any money, but what you are spending is a little bit of your time. Okay, you are posting content, you're producing videos, you are writing copy, and you are trying to build a following on these platforms. And it can be a useful strategy, but we're going to come back to that in a second, because the other alternative is that you spend your money. Okay. We have a bag full of money and we just go to the traffic platforms, we go to the Facebooks, we go to the YouTubes, we go to the TikToks, we go to the LinkedIns, and we just say, look, I don't want to spend any time right now. I just want you to show my ad to some of the right people. They both have their advantages and they both have the risks. The advantage over here is you're not spending any money, but it's going to take a long time to see a return potentially. There is no guarantees that you make a post and the right person sees it. Over here, we can grow so fast because we can get traffic same day, we can get people into our sales funnel, we can see if they're the right people, we can see if we're landing clients, and we can tweak and optimize. But of course, if it doesn't work and doesn't work straight away, we're starting to lose a bit of money. Not much, because you can start with $5 to $10 a day and spend, but you're risking your money nonetheless. So what's the answer? What should we focus on? Well, the reality is what you should actually do is have a combination of both. You should have a plan for how you can start to test paid advertising. And the two platforms that I love is YouTube and Instagram. Those are the two paid ad platforms that we get the best results with right now. And when you get them dialed in, they're incredible. So even if you're gonna focus on a bit of this, you may as well spend a few dollars, get this testing, and see if it can find you the right people, because it can be an absolute goldmine if you strike it right. But you should also have a plan for this. I've got a pretty big business at this point, but here I am producing some great content for you. And at some point, there'll be clients that will come my way because they saw my content and they decided to come into my world and pull the trigger. Is it predictable? Do I know when I'm gonna get a client? No. I post this video today. I might land a client today off the back of this. I might land a client in 6 months' time. But it's taken me a little bit of time, but I'm starting to build an asset here on this platform. So a combination of the two is the best place to start and give your business some longevity as well. Now, we've talked about the business model, we've talked about testing it with a pop-up offer, we've talked about a funnel, and now we've talked about traffic. There's a lot that you need to learn inside of there, and I've got some great free resources for you in the description box to help with all of these different aspects. So do check those out and do make use of those as well. But there's one final thing that we need to talk about. Once you start to get some traffic, once you have some interested prospects, and once you start to land some customers and clients, it is imperative that you get them results. So if it's a pop-up offer that you launch with, give everything to those clients. Go above and beyond, give them extra time if they need it. Allow the program to stretch beyond 90 days if you're so close to helping that client get the result, because the reality is once you start to build up some success stories, you are just going to snowball in the right direction and your business is going to absolutely take off. As soon as you have that handful of testimonials from people that said, I joined this person, I learned this from them, and here's the result that I got, everything takes off. The first ever time I implemented all of this was back in 2013. I launched a program that had no testimonials, I had no students, it was just something that I knew, and it was a simple YouTube traffic strategy. And I packaged up a training program, I launched it with a pop-up offer with some one-to-one support, and I made $1 million with that offer by just launching it quickly, finding my audience, and then refining as I go and making sure that I'm helping my clients win. So hopefully this has been helpful for you. Hopefully it's inspired you, but also educated you. And if you want to further your education right now, check out this video here where we'll go deeper on the sales funnels. I want to share with you 9 cheat codes to the sales funnels that I've been using that have made over $30 million online. It's really cool. Go check it out, and I hope to see you in a future video.